So we got to get this car outside because we are sanding today a little bit of the fiberglass away, and I don't want Bondo dust to get all over this clean and nice shop. Don't mind the air compressor. That is getting ready for showtime. What is up, guys? Welcome back to another video. We are standing behind the 350Z sedan, and this thing has been a pain in the butt lately. If you guys didn't know, this is my G35 right-hand drive sedan with a 350Z Nismo front end. And we're doing a 3-inch molded wide body on this car right now. It used to have a 2-inch molded wide body, but I did the 3-inch, and with the 3-inch you have to go over the door, and it actually goes on the door a little bit. So you have to cut it, and then I had to weld in all these pieces like in the last video. If you guys haven't seen that one, go check it out. It's a lot of fiberglass, little work like this. What I'm gonna do today is I'm gonna sand down all of this extra huge pieces, this gunk stuff that makes it so I can't close the door. And then I'm gonna lay down its final coat of Bondo. Well, not its final coat, but one of its final coats to get that final finishing icing on the cake. But I know why you guys came here. You guys wanna know why we front end swap all of our cars. And I can tell you that with one simple answer, and I can tell you that with showing you 4 years of videos on why we're doing this. But the easiest way to say is for everyone who's watched the channel for a long time, you guys know I've had 350Zs, 370Zs, Skylines, 240s, Miatas, everything, and nothing really like satisfied my urge. And I know it really is like that in the car community. You want to build your car to be original, to be, you know, you don't want to do what everyone else has done. That's why if you find a cool color when you're finally ready to wrap your car, you're not going to go do what everyone else has. You're going to try to find something that nobody's done before. So with this thing, now that it's been the car that I've had the longest in my whole life, this car right here, I've owned this car the longest out of every car I've ever had, which is probably around 2.5 years now. I decided that I wanted to build a 350Z limo. And I couldn't cut two 350Zs off apart at the time because I didn't have this amazing shop, which even with the shop, I'm not going to go cutting around two 350Zs in half and molding them together. And everyone knows that the G35 platform is pretty much exactly the same as a 350Z. This one, thankfully, was a factory 6-speed car. It was left-hand drive at the time when I got it, but it is a factory 6-speed car, and it basically was a 4-door 350Z. But I thought to myself, why not put a 350Z front end on it? I know some people did it to the coupes, the G35 coupes with 350Z front ends. When I first wanted to do this and you Googled it, I found a couple of them, and I actually talked to a few of the people who have already done that conversion. In my 3 years of owning this car and the 2 years of it having the 350Z front end, nobody has done this to a sedan yet. All the talk of all the messages I've gotten of people saying they want to do it, nobody has done it because it's not as easy as people think. Although it is the same car, engine and tranny wise, the front ends are not interchangeable. For the people who have been following, you guys know you have to cut these front ends in half, weld them together, mold them together, and that's why these aren't perfect, because these fenders were built 2 years ago inside my garage at my house. It was not at this shop yet. So when I'm done with the rears, I'm going to attack the fronts and make these fronts look OEM. But other than the fenders, which is the hardest part, there's also building mounts for everything, which is building mounts for the fenders, headlights, bumper, and hood. You can see that this hood latch has been extended. I think it's 2 inches. I got a little fish right there. And one crazy part is that the wiring for the headlight for the G35 sedan and the Nismo 350Z headlights actually clipped in. Like they literally clipped into each other, but it blew a bunch of fuses, and it made me tackle a bunch of crazy fuses that actually made my taillights stop working. After looking through diagrams and some stuff, I repinned the wires and I got the headlights to work on this car. Now we know people who can do a wiring that we can pay for to do perfect wiring to get our headlights working, our blinkers working, our high beams working. We also have a buddy who could do our body work amazingly. And we've also gained the experience for fabricating metal mounts for all the front end pieces. You might be asking why I'm doing the rear over fenders by myself. And that's because, thankfully for this car, not the Subivo, not the RX-7 FD, Dylan's car, and the Dylan's G70Z, or Tristan's G37 front end on a 350Z, those have all been worked on by other people, and we paid for body work, headlight work, and we did a lot of the manufacturing for the mounts ourselves. But this car right here, no one has done any work on it but me. And I want to stick it to that because this is one of those cars that I will keep forever. But since it's came such a long way with just me working on it, I love to think that I could just keep doing it myself. And at the end of the day, when this car's done and 10 years goes by and everything falls down and these cars aren't as popular as they are now, I can say proudly that I've done every single work on this car by myself. I show everything else besides the hardest part that I ever did in my life, which was the right-hand drive swap. The right-hand drive swap was pretty much the craziest thing I've ever done because I've never done wiring. I haven't done, I've done manual swaps, but I haven't done like full, like every pedal swapped. I had to get a new ECU. I had to manipulate the wiring harness. I had to get a new door bar, dash bar. And to get everything to work in a left-hand drive car was pretty insane. But now that it works, it's actually pretty flawless. I don't have a stereo because it got stolen. But for the most part, it is amazing. The one thing that I don't like is that the switches are still on that side for the window. So what I'm going to end up doing for those things is actually take out the switch panel, delete the switch panel, make it flat, and probably use these two switches for front and back, or maybe even delete the cup holder and then have switches right here. So we obviously don't front end swap everything. In all my power, I want to put an M3 E92 front end on this thing. It actually seems like it could probably work. Maybe not a coupe, maybe a sedan front end, just because it's so long and the coupe front ends are so small. But I don't even know why I'm talking about that, because no, I'm not putting a front end swap on my daily. This car is just a daily. It's nice. It gets the kid around. It gets my girl around. And yeah, does not need to be cut in half and put a front end on it. For something like this that I'm going to be taking to meets, yeah, it needs a front end swap. It is who we are now, and we're not stopping here. We're also not stopping with the front ends. We're going to do rear ends. We're going to do door swaps. Wait. So I just got this new sander, and it only came in with 120 grit. So I'm going to see how it blasts down the fiberglass, because I think I need a lower grit, like a 40 or 80 grit. But it is an air tool. I've never had one of these, and I've done a lot of body work, so hopefully this saves me a lot of time. I am doing it outside, like I said, because I don't want to make a mess, but I think it might rain. So as soon as it starts raining, I'm going to bring it back inside. But until then, let's get down to business. So it's actually working pretty good, but yeah, the 120 is not doing the job like it should. It's getting down this broken clear coat pretty good, but I need to go back to my house because I just got an Amazon delivery package for all my other sandpapers. I probably should have waited for that to be delivered, but yeah. So I'm gonna try to actually just get this door to close and get off all the little excess stuff with this thing, but if it's not working, I'm gonna go straight home. So we got some Bondo on it. I still need to do a couple more coats right here because it's a little low right here, but that looks pretty good. You can't really tell till I sand it down, but oh yeah, this is gonna be so sick. Anyways, we're starting Drew's 240 right here that hasn't been started since forever. We just got a new battery for it. Let's see if this thing starts up. Oh yeah, we started this. Oh yeah, she's good. It's so funny to be inside a 240 again. I miss them. This thing's so clean too. Brown interior. Wow. Steering wheel a little loose, a little jiggly. The K8 shifters are so trucky. This is straight up like driving a semi. Look at that. I'm gonna bang this out, and I started on the other side a little bit, but pretty much I'm not gonna see you guys till this is ready to be primed. So I'll see you guys when this is ready to be primered.